Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Story Time. Let me know what you thought about that whole intro thing down below. Today I am actually going to be reading a really long story. It's called Her, and it's basically a ghost story. So, yeah. Also, I am going to be doing this in one take, and I don't know how to, edit a video from my iPod, so I have to be reading this in one take. Okay. I remember just seeing her a lot. She would sometimes run across the room, make things fly across the room, giggle, talk, yell for help, scream, or open doors on me. Of course, I didn't like it. I mean, if that happened, I would have no one to go to about it. When I was 6, my parents died in a tragic fire. There was nothing I could do, and they were yelling at me to get out and call 911. After the fire was extinguished, my parents were found burnt and dead, hugging each other. I cried and cried, knowing nobody would take me in. All my family was in Alaska, and we were in Maine, so I was put up for adoption. But by the time I was 18, nobody wanted me, so I had to go and live on my own. I got an apartment that was haunted, which I didn't know until later. Then I started seeing her. As I laid in bed watching TV with my door closed, I heard giggling. Of course I shook it off, thinking it was nothing. So I went back to watching TV. Suddenly, I saw a girl figure run playfully across the TV. My heart started to race as I saw that. I reached to call my friend Brittany, who didn't believe in ghosts, but I had nobody else to turn to at that point, and explain what happened to me. Now standing up in my bed, shaking in fear, hearing the ringing of her cell phone, wanting her to pick up. I saw her kneeling at the side of my bed. She only appeared in a black figure, but it still frightened me. So at that point, I was running out of my apartment, down the stairs to the lobby. Once I reached the lobby, Brittany picked up her phone. In a frightened voice, I explained what happened and asked to stay the night there tonight as I headed for my car. Alright, calm down. It can spend the night. I'll be over in an hour to pick you up. Get your things together, she told me as I drove away. Unsure of where I was going to be, I didn't care. I was so scared. I just wanted out of that place. So I said, I'm not going back there alone, so I will be there soon. No, in an hour I'll pick you up. I'm sorry, I'm at work right now. I have to go now. Bye. Then she hung up on me. After a while of driving around town, I drove back up to my apartment building to meet up with Brittany. When I got there, she was sitting in the lobby texting. I got inside and she asked me where I've been. For a while, I just stood there, unsure of what to say. I just went out for some coffee. Where is it then? I already drank it all. Alright, she said with a pause. Where are your bags? They're upstairs. Are they all packed up? No, sorry, didn't get to it yet. She stood up and we walked to the elevator. I pushed my floor number, then stood back beside her as I said, to be honest with you, I'm scared to go back up there because of her. She rolled her eyes in response as we reached my floor. I opened the apartment door, shaking again. We stepped inside to a cold breeze. It sure is cold in here, Brittany said as I closed the door. We walked to my bedroom, and I packed up my things. And soon enough, we heard giggling. Is there a little girl who lives in this building? I shook my head. No. Oh, there's probably one just visiting then, she said as I started putting away my clothes in the gym bag in a hurry. I zipped up my bag and swung it over my shoulder. Then we headed for the door. As Brittany reached the door, the little girl appeared right in front of us. Brittany took off running, and I ran right behind her. Us both shaking in fear, Brittany ran down the stairs to her car. As soon as we reached the car, we sped off to her house. Do you believe me now? I asked her. Don't be a smart aleck. Of course I believe you now, she said in a shaking voice. We reached her house and we walked inside, still in fear and shock. She offered me something to drink after we took off our coats. I'm fine, thanks. You're lost, she said jokingly. Brittany, I'm sorry you had to see her. It's not your fault, she said as she poured herself some fruit punch. Somehow, I feel like it is my fault that you saw her. It's not. Trust me, it's fine. Now, I believe in ghosts. That's wonderful, I said, hugging her. So, it's 6 now. What do you want for dinner? We could go out for dinner, she said, later adding. How about Olive Garden? I asked, after a moment of thinking. Sounds great, she replied, grabbing our coats. That was good. Thanks for buying, I said as we walked into her house. Anytime. I'm going to head to bed now, sorry, she said as we took off our coats and shoes. Okay, good night. Night, I said. I sat down on our couch in the living room to watch TV when I heard a very loud bang. I shook it off and laid down on the couch with the TV on. Then another loud bang. I thought that maybe it was the neighbors getting out of their car. I decided to go back to bed about 10 minutes later. So I grabbed my pajamas and went into the bathroom to change. When I stepped out into the hallway, I heard a loud bang again. This time, I knew it wasn't the neighbors. I went to check on Brittany to see if it was her, but she was fast asleep. When I got worried and decided to sleep it off, so I laid back down on the couch. I woke up to 3 loud bangs. I sat up and heard her giggling. After a moment of fear and hearing the TV's faint sound of commercials, I saw her go right past the end of the couch where I was looking. I lay back down, shaking, and covered my head. There was another loud bang, and it sounded like someone asked me why I left her. I closed my eyes tighter and tried to fall asleep and fast. Then I heard Brittany asking if I was okay. I quickly uncovered to find Brittany standing on the opposite end of the couch where she once was. Where, the ghost once was. No, I kept hearing loud bangs and giggling. Then I saw her. Why can't you leave us alone? Brittany asked as I stood up shaking. You angered me, then left, said a little girl's voice. I knew it was her. How did I anger you? You moved in to my apartment, but you do not own it anymore. You need to move on. I can't. I was killed there. After a moment of silence, shock, and fear, asked, How did you die? No response for a while. Then I heard her say, My father pushed me down and stabbed me. Why did he do that? He was angry from work and found my mother had left him for good. I was crying for her when he walked in. He asked what's wrong, and I told him Mommy left. I guess he was so angry that he stabbed me. Why would he punish you for something your mother did? He had anger issues, so whenever he got mad, he would harm anything and anyone that got in his way. And I guess it was me at the time. I shed a tear and said, I'm sorry. I didn't know. What's her name? It's Elizabeth Nicole Heckman. We have to search for her, I told Brittany, and in the morning, you can sleep in my room if you want to. I smiled and said, I will. Thanks, sorry. I'm sorry I bothered you. I only wanted you to help me. It's okay. I understand, I replied, wiping away the tears. Once I woke up, I searched her name, and I instantly found an old newspaper article with her death. Many saying how tragic and sad her death was. I kept scrolling and found her dad. He was in the newspaper with the heading, Caught at Last. It says how cruel he was and where he was caught, in the next state. I'm sorry about your tragic death. Nothing. Then I cry. So that's how I met her and how she became my friend. She may have scared me, but she only wanted the attention that she never got. Alright guys, so that was her. I know it was kind of long, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, and as always, leave a like if you liked it, and a comment. Let me know what you thought down below. I will see you all next time. Bye!